Hey folks, that angel was talking to me last night and sent me on this chase for this mott this morning. So I'm fixing to prove to y'all that the God is real, the Bible story's fake, the Vatican's full of shit, and King James is queer. And if I fail to do any of these here, let me know, and I'll put some more up here. I got a load of it. So this mott is spelled with the M, the THE, and that's the waters of nine lives are from the collected life, and what tripped me out is when I wake up this morning, it's 9/17/17, September 17th, 2017, and I found that here. From the nine lives, the mott here on Numbers 17:17. So that's a little taste of God for you, and here's a little taste of King James being queer. You're not gonna find 9:17:17 in your Bible. For some reason, they took the first 15 verses off and they put it on the end of 16. So you'll find it at 17:2, and you'll see King James wants to interpret that as writing on a name on each man's rod, and there's a little proof of King James being queer. And these question marks here at the bottom, pointing at the question mark, there was no punctuation in the Bible. There was no numbers. It was nothing but letters. They had a hard time separating the lines. They just made all that up as they went along. You can look at this here and take that word Hebrew off everything, and it'll be more accurate. But you can see that them vowel points, they didn't even come till between 6 and 950 AD. It's not a spoken language, it's a picture language. It doesn't matter what it sounds like, it's pictures, and anybody in the world could read the pictures and know what it said. They didn't have to know what the language sounded like. It means nothing. You can see here in this new international version, it's on the English side there, they took the homosexuality out of it. And that Daber al Bene, that Daber that was in the palm, that was the hard on you seen in my last movie. But it means through in the head. It means to think, to learn the bind. Al, to learn the bind. Bene, in the seed works of Israel. Israel, to make, consume the first knowledge to bind. It means to start the education. And then it says the waqwa, to come after, divided, and that matam. Every time you see that AT, it means knowledge writings. Learn the writings. They don't want you to learn, so they never give that a meaning. But what it's saying here is waqwa, connected, to come after, divided from the knowledge of the TM, from the trademarks. And it's talking about the trademarks of the mott bird. And you can see he does have water trademarks. He's got the colors of waters. He's got the emeralds of Florida there, and he's got the deep blue ocean seas. And they in Egypt they use these birds as their code a lot, and they can mean many things by telling you what you're looking at. They got a lot of bright colors. The red eye means something. So it says from the knowledge of the trademarks of the mott, and that's why you see them have the staffs there twice, the staffs, because they're not wanting to tell you what the code is. Then it says Labet Ab Mott, and you see that mott got the AT in it, so they didn't give it a meaning again. But it says Labet, to bind in the work seals, to learn in mott. Mott was the truth in Egypt. To learn the truth. It's teaching you how to read the code. The color, to give the bind. And this prince is here. That's a clue, and it's telling you that in the sigils, it's going to be in the classification of princes, in the principalities. So we're going to go to this other old Bible here because it gives a lot of those clues. It's gonna tell us what's talking about here. And you can see on the front it says the Pars 1, and that means to open the ARS. And like I told you before, that's the knowledge of the royal secrets. And this book wasn't for us; it was for the king. I don't know how we got a hold of it, but they're trying to take it back. So if y'all learn that letter meaning chart I give several times now, I'm telling you, you can learn to read anything and just break everything down. You can see it starts here with the prolegomena, to open first to see, the beginning, lego to building blocks, to build the mena, to build the meanings. And this has a bunch of clues written in Greek here to help you understand what's going on in this book. So at the end of this prolegomena, it's got the conspectus sigillorum and compendorium, and this is the sigils, and I'm going to show you how to use all this real soon. So these are sigils, and if you think it has something to do with demons, you don't have a clue what it's about. This is all part of your Bible, and this is part of the codes. Is because the Bible wasn't meant for everybody. Everybody can't handle it. So if you want to learn something about this, just go ask your mama how to read the sigils on the laundry, and that'll give you a start to understanding how to read this. It doesn't matter what language you read, you look at the pictures tell the story. And the first picture is saying regular, 30 degrees. The next picture's got a single line underneath it, and it's telling you synthetics. It's a little more gentle cycle. And the third picture there is same water temperature, just same level, but a little bit more gentle. That's the delicate you're washing, and it's nothing evil about it. It's just telling you the clues in any language. Anybody can read this. Look at all your clothes, it all reads the same. You see that hand on the top resting in the water, it means the water's a comfortable temperature. So this is what happens when you send your kid off to school and don't teach them how to read them. They look at the tags and rip them out of the clothes thinking it's some kind of demon worship going on. It's the same thing happened to your Bible. All the codes have been ripped out of it. So on this last page, before it starts the Bible, it's got this appendix here, and this is a cheat sheet. This comes in real handy with a computer, and you don't even need the siglia hardly. So on the second page of this prolegomena, I recognized some words, and I started typing that sentence in Latin. And as you type, the words change meaning, because the way this Google interpreter works is all this has been interpreted before, and it recognizes phrases. But if you start separating the words, it'll give you a different meaning. And so I set it on to Greek, and I started separating the words where I saw, and you can see here this causa a liquid maturi. That's causa is like caustic soda, burns, hot, a liquid or fluid or changing, and that maturi is also mother. But when you put it the right way, it might be the meaning they was actually putting there is in the practice in the future to censor the burned myrrh. And that's the same thing I was reading in the book of the Sextus, is it was the ceremonies that were banned, and this was the censorship of the burned myrrh, the optic, to see, as in the opus magnus, to see the magic, to see the magi, and that opus has been translated to work, and that was called The Work. That was the book of The Work of the Magick. So this is a basic phonetic letter meaning chart, and you can download it off many Christian pages trying to teach you how to read it. And I have, they're all about the same, but the Hebrew letter meaning chart didn't have a letter for plants. And that would have been the most important thing to write about when ancient people wrote. And through much investigation and study, I corrected that, and it's the X, the same as the RX. And I have prior movies that explain the letter meaning chart well. I'm going to start here at the beginning of Genesis and show you how to use this appendix and siglia. And I'll get to that number 1717 here in a minute. But this Barasit, it means in the beginning, learn to consume the work seals. Learn to read the siglia. You got to learn how to read all those little signs. Bara in the royal knowledge, to the Elohim, to learn to bind the work from. And then that AT is learn the writings of the heavens. Learn the writings of the Shemim, the spirits to work from, and learn the writings of the art, the knowledge of the royal plants. That's the X on the end there. It looks like a Y, the ARX. So if there's something you don't understand there, you go down to the bottom at these footnotes, and this is where the goyim used to be, the foot to work from, and that's been removed. There was a different set of footnotes that was removed here and put in other books, and these notes down at the bottom now will tell you where these other books are stashed at now. So you can see here it says chapter 1:1, the SIC, and then the M looking thing, and then the B mage, and that SIC is the secrets to make fold, or the secrets to make consume. The C is different in language. In Latin, it'll be it came from the fire, the S of the fire, and so that'll be the secrets to make consume. And you look over to the right and you see that MAJ, it's the second of the majesculum, and if you Google that majesculum, you'll see that that's a meaning of a bluish tint in plants and animals. It's the blue blood, the royal column, the royal group. You look over here on this page of sigils and you'll see that M there, and that's the Mizora Textus, and you can see the date that came from, 1860 to 64. They're not sure. And you can still find that book, and I pulled it up here, and I'll get you some links for all these books here shortly. You can see it starts with that SPR, Supera, the secrets to open first, and you see it has that editor stamp on it, and that actually means censored. All these Hebrew books were censored. Whatever makes it too easily read was removed. And you can see there at the top, that's the Maseret, from the secrets to connect the first writings. And then that S with the two hash marks G, don't confuse those hash marks with the Yod. They're a little bit smaller, and it's of thee. Just put of thee when you see them. So that's the secrets of the foot that's been removed. And then you see the litur there. That's the bind of the Torah. The bind of seals to connect the first life. So I'll get a little deeper in this book another time, but you can see it starts with the Ra, the first knowledge of life. Then it gets to the secrets to fold from the seals. It's teaching you how to read the work seals. The three secrets of the glue, the mazurt, and the bamt. Then it's the secrets to fold from the connected writings. And then the ludium, and the bruck in the first connected fold, and then the lepinim, the bind the picture seed work from. And then the format, and that QR, it usually means to come after the first, the second, but when you see the E in front of it, it means the far, and that's MT, the format, pharmacy. Then comes this glossary. It takes up about 7/8 of the book, and you can see it starts with the ABB, and it says the knowledge connected writings of the Aleph. So they'll all start with, they'll go to the Aleph, then the Bet, and then the Gamel, and it'll go all the way through. Then we get close to the end here, and we see it's the pursuit of the Torah, or the pictures first to consume. So that's a different S. That's the consume S. Pictures first to consume to make connect the writings. And then you see the SPR, the secrets to open first of Breshit, the secrets to open first of Genesis. And then you see the secrets to open first of the Smut. And that's called the names of the connected writings, or the spirit connected writings. And that's actually the spelling of Exodus. And this part of the book is called the Tikkun Superum. And then you see in the right hand column, it's the secrets to open first of Bamudbar. And that's given the meaning of wilderness all through the Bible. But actually that's the spelling of Numbers. And then you'll see Leviticus in the left hand column, the Sapara Vakara, this connected work second, or the secrets to open to come after the first knowledge. And then comes Deborah, the secrets to open first, the Daber to work from. And every time you see that, it's all throughout the Bible, and it's all throughout all the writings of Thoth. And they give it the meaning, and he said. But that's what they call the Deborah, the Deuteronomy. Then on the last page we have the Telti, and that's to seal the bind of the numbers. And you can see that's got the editor's stamp on it, because they wanted to make sure that they cut some of those numbers out, and there's not near as many as there used to be. But you can see here, this is to bind the connection divided of the thought. And this is what I call the 42 sins. There's only 42 sins here now. A bunch of them's been edited out. I call them sins because every time you see that thought, anytime, it don't matter what letters go between the thet and the taw, they call it a sin in the Bible. And you can see the columns here. They're labeled RP, the first to open, and then the OMR, that's the eye waters to begin. The eye waters are the tears of distillations. And then the shore, the fires connect the first life. And then the bind or the plants of the bind, the X of the L. And this is in lieu of the thought. And here's a list of 59 sins in the Bible. It's 59 different words that the only thing they have in common is them two T's. It don't matter what other letters go with it or go in between it. It's a sin to be thinking. So I'll get into all that another time, and I'll leave you links to all these books. I'm going to go back here to this Numbers, this Numbers 17:17, and the mot bird, and it's real easy. And we go on down to the bottom, and we could see that this, through the house of Ra, the knowledge to bind in the seed work was this oil of the Versio Gracia. And that LXX, that's the bind of the double X. And that was in tombs in Egypt. And in the New Testament, the Greeks call the bind of the XX, or the tutor. They renamed it the Book of the Nun, the same as in Egypt. And it's that nun in Egypt is spelled with two plants, the double X. All these books are split up, and this Codex Vaticanus, the codes of the Vaticanus, and that Vaticanus, you break that down, and that's the connected knowledge writings to make the canes. And you'd be surprised where you see where that comes from. So if you Google this Codex Vaticanus B, this is what comes up. And it looked like Toth escaped with a copy when he went to South America. And this Greek double X interpreter is in California in the free archives, and I'll leave you a link. You can pull that up, check it out. You really don't even have to know how to read. If you ever dropped any acid or DMT or mushrooms, as soon as you open the cover, you know what he's talking about. The whole thing's a medicine manual. They had better medicine thousands of years ago than we have today. And you can see that's the pro-logos, the first logos of the Sophia, the wisdom of the Syriacs, of the secret life to make the first knowledge of plants. You can see here that it's going to teach you how to make the Sophia Solomon, the wisdom of Solomon. You're going to have to learn some alchemy and be juggling a bunch of books to get this, but you can see that they've been hiding this for years, and they read it, and they create, and they sell us their poison and hide the good drugs. So if you think I'm bullshitting, we'll go back over here and look at this CF. And over there in the compendia, we can see that means conferendum. And go ahead and put that in the top of your Google and hit images and see what they're talking about. And this would be the trees of knowledge. And I got many years of experience, and this ain't something you want to jump into and not knowing. You really want to study, learn what you can before messing with this, but don't believe what they say. You know, it's hard to find a good study because they lie about everything. You got to have your head right before you get into this, and this is what they're talking about. This is that red drink that the birthright got traded for, and anybody who's ever had a DMT breakthrough, they understand that upchuck coming out, that's not something evil that he ate. That's God that comes out of your mouth. You wouldn't believe where the words come from. But there's much knowledge just there waiting to be opened up. I'm going to leave you a link to this page here, and there's a little bit more information in this, and it'll give you a good idea. Good day, folks. God is love, God is light, God is knowledge.